Hi, this is János, it is Real World Audio, and today I'm going to demonstrate something to you. And probably you have heard many times that the material of the screws makes a difference in the sound of a loudspeaker cabinet. But some of you might think that this is some sort of myth, some sort of urban legend, and people are imagining things when they are saying that let's say like a zinc screw or a steel screw or a brass screw, they sound different, sure, in people's heads, but what about measurements? So today I'm going to show you some hard data on it that shows the difference between using different screws on your loudspeaker project. And I'm talking specifically on my Legrand speakers. And here we go. So I did a little on-axis frequency sweep to measure the drivers. I just used some really primitive methodology to do it. The point of it is not to get something that's like a plus or minus 0.1 dB accurate. We don't need it. I don't need that. So what I did is that I just used a simple scope app on my phone, and I used my tablet to generate a frequency sweep, a sine wave frequency with an oscilloscope app on the pad. I will show it in a different video how you can do that. I will show the setup for that, but in this video I'm showing the screen, and that requires very different lighting settings from the camera. So here we go. This is what you see. So it's a sweep from 20 kilohertz to 20 hertz, and of course, because it was made by the camera's onboard microphone, anything above 10 kilohertz is really questionable. It's unable really to get the exact level. It drops off tremendously. It's not picking up the high frequencies. Also below about 60 hertz, it starts to fizzle out, and that's not that exaggerates whatever the speaker is doing. So we know that in these regions we can't really count anything with the linearity of the measurement, but if there would be a peak, a sudden peak there, that would be still indicative that there's something happening, but there is not. So anyway, what you are seeing, this greenish, grayish big thing there, that is the frequency sweep. So that's the peak hold setting for the camera, and the red thing, just don't even look at it. That's the momentary measurement that it captured at the moment I took the screenshot. So that is irrelevant. The thing with relevance is this thing in the background. And how I did that, it's 25 centimeters holding in front of the speaker driver, so like right in front of the driver on axis, and that's where I had the camera while I did the sweep, and this is what I got. And as you see, there are some things of note here, and this is what I want to talk about. One of the things most notable, you see there is a peak there, and when I measured that, checked it on the camera, it was 10 kilohertz. So it's like the 10.32 kilohertz. That's where there is a sudden peak there. And what is the scale? So between two lines there is 20 dB difference. So basically, if we take this as like a general level of the output level, then here what we are noticing is above 4 kilohertz there is a drop, and then it comes back around 6 kilohertz, and then it drop again, and then here at 10 kilohertz there is a peak. And because of that drop, that peak is really extreme. And if you have a look at that, there's a little bit more than 20 dB difference between, let's say, 7 kilohertz and 10 kilohertz, and that's a lot. And so this is one really big problem that we are seeing here, that at 10 kilohertz we have, regarding to the average output, is just like a plus 5 dB or so peak, which is still a little peaky, noticeable, but it's not the end of the world. It just brightens up the sound a bit. But because the region preceding it, that octave, this octave here, has this monstrous gap inside, that's why that peak is truly exaggerated, and it gives a strong metallic harshness to the sound. And so that's one thing. And the other thing that you can notice here is when we go from the mid-range, we are going down to upper bass, mid-bass. In the mid-bass, there's like these two humps, that little ones. It's not that much, just a few dB values, but when I showed you, I published that sound sample with the organ music, and Edward noted there's some notes in the bass that are underrepresented, and he says that it might be due to frequency cancellations because of the proximity of the port and the cabinet to the floor, and actually he is getting a Golden Ear Award for that, because exactly that's what is happening. And how we can know that? Because the next measurement I will show will have two changes comparable to this one. So what there I did two things. One was to put the speaker on a proper stand. So instead of sitting 2 centimeters off the floor, which is 3/4 of an inch off the floor, now it's sitting approximately about 10 inches or so of the floor. So they are on a Van der Steen stand. So I'm using the stands that were the stands for the early Van der Steens that I've had for about almost 20 years now, and I just brought them down, put the speakers on there, and gave a listen with that. So that is one change, and we will see whether those humps there will change or not. And the other thing that I did was to change these zinc screws. You can't see much, it's dark. In a follow-up video I will show the screens, these screws to you, and I will show those new brass screws as well that I changed them for, which, by the way, those screws are your coffee at work. So I'm using your donations that I've been receiving from you. Part of that was already going to get those brass screws. So in the next follow-up episode I will show those screws, what is the size, what those screws are. So what I am expecting is that the screws will change this region. So because of lifting the loudspeaker off the floor, we can change those low frequency cancellations not happening anymore, improving there. However, because this is the frequency range that's affected by those distances, I am not expecting to see any changes in this region because of the mounting at different height, because those frequencies are too high for that. However, and actually when I did that in a two-step, but I did not do the measurement. I did the measurement only after the second step. So now you just have to take my word for it, because I'm not going to unscrew the brass screws to put back the old screws again. So that's where it is now. But when I did it, and when I put them on the stand, then there was a gigantic change in the nature of the bass, and in the high frequencies I could still hear that metallic ringing up there. And after I changed the screws, the metallic ringing was gone. And now let's see the measurements. Do they confirm what I heard? And yes, they have confirmed. So one thing, if you look at the mid bass there, mid bass upper bass region, there you see now it has changed entirely. That double hump has disappeared, and you see the mid bass, which was before already just falling below the level of the mid range. Look at that. It is actually rising above the level of the mid range. So actually we are gaining quite a bit of energy in the mid bass. Oh, let's just go back from that. So quite a bit of energy there, and those two humps disappearing. And what happens in the high frequencies? Look at that. The entire high frequency region just perfectly cleared up. And this is what happened after I changed the screws to brass screws. So everything that was here and what we might have blamed on the drivers, or how we mounted on the driver, maybe that's why it was uneven. No, it turns out it was uneven because of the screws. So now it's just so nice, this region, that if you look at any commercial speakers, this is pretty good. This is what you see with speakers. And of course this is not in an anechoic chamber, it's in room measurement, which is much more commendable than a fancy imaginary anechoic measurements, which has no clue at all compared to what's going to happen in your room. And what I still have here is, this is the only thing that stayed, which looks like a problem area. This 5.1 kilohertz little boop that sticks out a little bit. It's not as big as you know that 10 kilohertz peak before. Nothing like that monstrosity. Just a tiny bit of thing that I can sometimes hear it at certain places, but it's so tiny that you really need someone to point it out for you and explain it to you just to notice it in the first place. And other than that, you see there's a perfect clearing up. And now I just made a little comparison at the end. So this is the old measurement before I changed the screws, and these are the changes that came with changing the screws, and that's the change that came with changing the stand height. And as you see, I made these screw related changes orange, the ones that fixed up irregularities. So one irregularity was around this sensitive mid-range area that's centered on 2 kilohertz, like the 2 to 3 kilo, like 1.5 kilohertz to 3 kilohertz octave. That was a little bit choppy before, and that's really super nicely smoothed out. And then there was the octave above that was really choppy, and now that one really smoothed out as well. And then this is the big problem area, that was a monstrous 20 dB plus peak. Oops, where are we? And now that's completely gone. You can't even see it. And when we look at this region, I have not talked about this before, but the far extension, the highest frequencies, they actually, what happened to them is that there was a sudden drop there, and now we do not see that drop happening. And of course, beyond 16 kilohertz, the camera cannot record. The microphone is inadequate, but you see until as we can see here already, the decrease in the sensitivity of the camera microphone. But I mean, not camera, the phone microphone that I was recording with. But it's really nicely falling, and I haven't seen this phone camera record frequencies so nicely as this. So what in reality is happening is probably the high frequencies holding out really nice, much nicer than with these zinc screws. So here you saw that changing the screws, the material of the screws that you hold your cabinet together with, is just absolutely monstrously impacts on the sound quality, and both on the high frequency extension and the two most sensitive octaves of our hearing, plus in addition that third octave there, which is the high frequency. So everything from mid-range to highest frequencies, those 4 octaves are just absolutely monstrously impacted by the quality of these screws. And these were not all the screws in the cabinet. These were just the top 6 screws holding the top plate down. So imagine if all my entire cabinet was done with these zinc screws, and then actually they are not zinc, they are zinc plated iron screws, so they are magnetic, and then these changes would be even more profound. So it's enough if you just change 6 screws. So thank you for looking at this video. I hope this was very informative to everyone, and we'll catch up and continue from here. Please like, subscribe, and have an awesome day, and thank you guys so much, and girls, for the coffee. Bye bye.